Kempire is brought to you by DMV. The Kempire After Dark live experience is returning after a sold-out show and an amazing tour across this country. And we're coming back to the DMV, Washington, D.C., specifically on Friday, January 24th. As you've seen with the recent Karen news, we're going to be talking about that and so much more. And I asked all of you to bring the tea that you know, because I know the DMV is small and you guys know a lot. And nothing comes out of the Kempire After Dark live experience. What happens there stays there. And I'm looking forward to hearing what you know, and I'm sure you're looking forward to hear what I found out. Get your tickets today for the Kempire After Dark live experience at Union Stage on Friday, January 24th. And then right after that, New York City. We're coming back to New York City for Black History Month on Friday, February 21st at the Green Room 42. So excited to bring our hot topics and housewives conversation and so much more at the Green Room 42 on Friday, February 21st. More details on that, but don't forget, there is a live stream option only for the New York City show. So if you are international, or if you're around the country, or if you just can't make it, get your ticket today for the live stream link. All that information will be available in the description. I see you all very soon. You're listening to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio Network. Tabby is right. She says Kempire is tired. Last night depleted so many of his brain cells he needed to recuperate. And I was just telling our TikTok fam and our Twitch and Twitter fam behind the scenes that we were, I feel like I just saw you guys, all right? Because we were up late last night unpacking. We all attended. We all attended the side chick convention. Yes, we didn't want to. We just somehow showed up there and we were like, what convention is this? The side chick convention. Okay. Okay. So even some of the Espos were there. Espos Rise. Some of the Espos were there. I don't know if any of the millimeters attended, but we were at the side chick convention. Lord, I know it's the holidays, but damn, ho, 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 ho. If you missed it, last night we did unpack, begrudgingly, Martell Holt and his paramour's interview with the alleged side chick of Marcel Scott. I hate the fact that these two are going to make us defend Marcel. Even though we didn't defend Marcel, we just reacted to the interview. You can hear in podcast version of that interview, which is cut down a little bit. You can check it out with better audio as well on the podcast. All right. So that was part of the reason why the audio was a little wonky during the live show, but you can hear better audio on the podcast if you just want something to listen to. You want to hear a side chick convention on the way to work, or something for the holidays, something for the family to listen to. Lord have mercy. Now, I mean, if y'all want ideas for planning the next side chick expo, reach out to Trish. I mean, not Trish. Oh, damn, Trish. Not you getting it. Sorry. I didn't mean Trish. I meant Tisha. Look, I meant Tisha. Anyways, I am trying to restore my brain cells, drinking plenty of water, taking my vitamins, going to read a good book, learning something new. This all challenges the brain for those that had to listen to our breakdown of that interview. I'm going to put interview in quotes because I don't know what that was that we watched last night. But if you missed it, that is the alleged Marceau Scott's, or according to her, because she had a year-long alleged affair with him, Marcel Scott's paramour, side chick, I don't know. And these two, Nopra and Pale, they decided to conduct the interview. All right? And this was probably Marceau's house because he probably don't have no furniture. Ooh, Queen D says play Sudoku. I never got into that. I remember when that used to be such a popular thing, but that might be a good idea. Something to challenge our brains after the side chick Espo. We're calling it an Espo now because we've upgraded, okay? We upgraded from a convention to the Espo. Oh, wait a second. Kay Saunders says, Are the rumors true that Marceau is divorcing Tisha? I don't believe. I would believe Tisha divorcing him, But we shall see. I would be really surprised. I would be really surprised. And look, and if she's divorcing him off the basis of the side chick Espo, don't, Tisha. That was not hard. We didn't get a receipt. We didn't get a timeline. We didn't get a screenshot. We didn't get anything from whatever the hell this was, okay? We did not get anything from this besides hearsay. And I hate the fact that we are just breaking down hearsay, okay? We didn't get anything. She didn't give us a timeline. She could barely remember the name, but she did say that she was, she had a train run on her by the Scott brothers. I know. But I will say, after watching it, although I don't necessarily believe the woman 100%, okay, she does mention that her and Maurice hooked up. So a lot of people were getting thrown under the bus in this interview. But this live show is not about that. It's not about that. This is our weekly recap of Love and Marriage Huntsville, unfortunately. Season 122, episode 25. Our friends over at OMFG Reality TV had given this episode, they said it was like season 5, episode 24. And I said, okay, I can't keep up with these numbers because according to YouTube TV, this is season 9, episode 8. Y'all own Oprah. I expect better from you. What is going on over there? What is happening? I am confused. But at the same time, I just don't care. So we will continue to refer to this as episode 28 of season 122. I know last week was like 300, but look, they don't make sense. We aren't going to make sense. All right. And if you missed our evaluation and reaction to the side chick Espo, you can see that here on our YouTube channel. Okay, you can see that here on our YouTube channel where we break it down. All right. Exactly. Big Miss Muff said, "Not with your brother." Disgusting. And you notice how Martell in that conversation wanted to make it seem like he was so innocent. What? Ariane trying to get dirt. Ariane, do you think that this man that you cheated with is going to be loyal to you and who has never claimed you? Did you really think that he was going to be loyal to you? She's grilling the side chick, the alleged side chick, grilling her, and hoping to get some sort of information on Martell? You thought Martell was loyal to you. Okay. He's also at this side chick convention, okay? Because he's a side chick, okay? All right. Anyways, first of all, shout out to all of you for liking the video already. We appreciate you guys. This is our weekly recap. Don't forget, the Kempire After Dark live experience is returning. It's returning to Washington, D.C. Our premiere seating has sold out, but there's still general admission tickets, which is great. It's not a huge venue, but get your tickets today if you haven't, but meet and greet tickets are still available. There is a low ticket alert on that. So if you want to meet me in person and take pictures, then key, this is your opportunity if you live in the DMV area. Okay, we're going to be back at Union Stage on Friday, January 24th of next year. So get your tickets today if you haven't already. Then New York City, you're up in February. We're celebrating Black History Month with a Kempire After Dark live experience. So get your tickets for that. There is a live stream option only for this show. And a lot of you been asking, Kempire, we want a live stream option, blah, blah. This is your opportunity. Go get your tickets today for our New York City show. But if you're in New York, the tri-state area, come to our show on Friday, February 21st. Okay? All right. More information on the Kempire After Dark live experience will be available in the description. Okay? All right. All right. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Shout out to our King's Guard. Shout out to our channel members. We see quite a few of our members in the building. And of course, shout out to our subscribers. It is a subscribers only live chat. All right. So Love and Marriage Huntsville started off where they ended. And that was with Ken giving a speech, taking a dig. And he admits in his confessional that he was taking a dig at Marquez. And before I started this, I was talking with our TikTok fam and our Twitch and Twitter fam, saying, I do not have anyone's side This is what I talk about twerking on the fence, because I feel like everyone in this episode is wrong for something. There's not one person on this cast that I'm like, yes, this person's 100%. I have their back. Except not one. There isn't one. Nope, none. Sorry, but not sorry. But I told you, they edited it weird because last week we saw when Marquez slid in. He was like, "Tell me I'm the daddy. Tell me I'm the daddy." You usually he slid into the frame, and then he's like, what did he say? He says, "Hi, hey, I'm the father. These are our kids. Tell me I'm the daddy." Oh, come on. But the edit this week, we didn't see him slide in like he was a part of Drew Hill. Tell me I'm the daddy. Come on. Okay. And you could, first of all, he says, "Hey, I'm the father. These are our kids." The cast is sitting at the table like, oh my God, what is happening right now? Okay. What is happening right now? But look, Ken, I really wanted to rock with you, but based on what you've been doing and saying, it's giving like you like being the martyr. You like being Captain Save-A-Ho. And I'm not calling her a hoe. I'm just saying that's a term. It feels like you get off on doing this on some shape or level. And when I say that, there's nothing wrong with what you're doing in regards to helping someone and being a supportive father figure. But it feels like your intention is nefarious in a way. Not necessarily like you're trying to, but you get off on some level instead of really doing this 100% with a pure heart. Okay? So that's this, like, and I'm not sitting here defending Marquez because Marquez is trash. Marquez wasn't a good father. Marquez was gaslighting and deflecting this entire episode. Marquez was trying to have conversations with the cast, trying to get some screen time. So he's not innocent. And normally you think that you'd be able to ride with Ken with this, but I can clearly see what Ken is doing. He wants to be the, I'm the one, da 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 da. But Marquez, you're not innocent either. And I do believe, Trish, that you weren't there as a father. All right? Exactly. Antoinette says, Ken was doing too much. Yes, hero syndrome. Yeah, I'm just like, and the bad part about this is that we're defending Marquez in a way, and I don't want to defend Marquez because I do believe that he was a trash father, but I also don't think that you needed to make some sort of announcement in front of the entire cast on television and his children and their mother. Oh, and shout out to the fathers that that stuck around and that are around, taking a clear dig at him in front of his kids that truly do. It'd be different if the kids did not like their father. You could tell that the kids still love their father. And even if they didn't, you shouldn't be the one on the outside encouraging any sort of issues in the family. And again, I'm not saying that Marquez is innocent, but two things can be true. Ken could get off on being the martyr in the situation and have ill intentions, and Marquez can still be a trash father that wasn't there for them. Those two things can coexist. And Trish, you definitely were drinking a little too. Trish was a lit. Look, not Karen lit, but she was lit. She had a lot to say. Anyways, before we even get to that, Melody has a conversation with Maurice about his DUI. Melody says to Maurice that she felt like, she confronts him about the DUI. And she's like, I felt like it was irresponsible, embarrassing. Okay. And she didn't love the fact that the day after that he was on social media drinking and with the whole free Reese situation. All right. She said that she felt like that was inappropriate. And I think we all can agree that it was inappropriate. And honestly, I think at this particular point, I'm a little raw when it comes to people driving under the influence because we just literally have been covering Shannon Bedore from Real Housewives of Orange County, Karen Huger. We just saw the body cam footage this week. So I'm a little extra sensitive this week when it comes to the DUI, okay, of it all. She said she felt like that was inappropriate. She mentions that she lost her grandmother to a drunk driver. I didn't even know that. Well, we knew from this season, but I didn't know that previously. Okay. And Maurice is just sort of like looking. All right. Maurice then asked Melody, what does she know about what happened that day? She's like, well, I saw what the police report said. And Maurice says that the police weren't there either. I'm confused. So what happened, Maurice? And I get it. In the scene, because it's still probably at the time being litigated, as you know, the charges have been dismissed. He refused the breathalyzer, so they really didn't have the evidence to convict him. Okay, just don't let it happen again, Maurice. But I feel like, okay, so what exactly happened? Why would they think that you were under the influence? Did you get into an accident? Did they observe you slurring your words? Like, what was it? I mean, if you saw the mugshot, do I have the mugshot here? I have one. I have the group mugshot, don't I? Let me show that. Here it is. He definitely looks lit. And we already know that he was a little bit lit and under the influence because he was at Black partying with the rest of the cast, drinking. All right. And I can't remember now. I think Trish says, yeah, all of us were drinking, but no, I didn't think anyone wasn't able to drive. Please understand, the minute you put alcohol in your system, you really shouldn't drive, especially if you don't know your limits. Okay. So she kind of confirmed that, yeah, they all were drinking and he got behind the wheel of a car. Irresponsible because anything can happen. Even with a little bit of impairment. National says, not the group mugshot. They showed it on the episode. I got it from the episode. All right. J.A. says, embarrassing is your husband having a baby with a side chick months after you. Oh, that was that Melody. Look. Well, here's the thing. I'm not going to argue that because that was her husband. Okay, we don't know the ins and the outs of their not the ins and the outs, the ins and the outs of their relationship, but that was her husband. So the fact that she decided to try and make that relationship work, look, that's between them. All right. But so Melody says, I'm going by what public record, what's out there. Maurice says that even the police weren't there. So I'm confused. And we got nothing, very much like yesterday's side chick convention. We got nothing from this conversation as to what went down. Again, we understand why, because it was currently being litigated. Okay, so it turns a little interesting between the two of them. All right, Maurice says that the police weren't there. He says that Melody is now omnipresent and omniscient. Okay, meaning that she knows everything. He says next she's going to be a deity. Here's the thing. I think your problem with Melody is because she's a reflection of you. She's a reflection of you because you also come across like you know everything. And even his words to Melody where he was saying that he was just like, yeah, because Melody was saying that, you come across as this holier than thou person in the group. And he was like, I usually react to things because I know things. And I was sitting there to myself, this man really has no self-reflection at all in regards to his comments within the group. Okay. So he says she's going to become a deity. Melody says that she wishes that his response was different the day after. And then he tries to justify his response with the day after, trying to make excuse like, how, I'm not going to respond the way that you want me to respond the next day. Well, you know what? For someone that comes across like everything about everyone, I'm going to tell you, personally speaking, getting arrested for a DUI the day before, and your wife apparently doesn't know where you are, she said it on the show, is not the smartest to go the next day and be filmed on social media, partying it up at a bar with alcohol and saying free Reese. I know you didn't say free Reese, they said it, but they wouldn't have the opportunity to say it if you weren't there. I don't think that was very smart at all. Maybe you're thinking, oh, well, I still got dismissed for my cases, but we're always going to look at you like you got behind the wheel of a car, Mr. Holier Than Thou, and you were impaired, allegedly. He refused the breathalyzer, which is his right. That's the thing. Like, we get the legality of all these situations with Karen Huger and blah, 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 blah. But did you or did you not, Maurice Scott, get behind the wheel of a car and be impaired where you could risk your life and other people's lives? But luckily for you, that didn't happen that way. Did it happen or did it not happen? Based on this conversation between him and Melody, we don't know because he keeps deflecting. Again, he's an attorney. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Then he gets a little defensive, understandably, because he says he feels as if Melody is attacking his character because she associated what happened to her grandmother who got hit by a drunk driver with him. Because I guess he's making us believe that he wasn't under the influence. Maybe he wasn't drunk, okay? Maybe he wasn't drunk. But were you under the influence? Why were you pulled over and then subsequently arrested? Is it an automatic? Look, I don't know. I think one of the things that we are going to learn in covering these stories, that every single state handles DUIs very differently. In some states, if you refuse any of these sobriety tests, it's like an automatic repercussions. Some states. However, I don't know Alabama's rule. If you refuse a breathalyzer, what that is. Is that automatic arrest? I don't know. All right. Danielle says, is he an attorney? What law is he practicing? You know what? He definitely is an attorney because he has his Juris Doctorate. I mean, I haven't seen it personally, but word on the street. Okay. Dr. Payne Nestor, thank you so much for the super chat. Dr. Payne says, Merry Christmas, Kempire, and everyone. I don't watch this show, so I appreciate you suffering for us. The Martell and Maurice of it. Dr. Payne, thank you so much, and happy holidays to you, too. Cindy, thank you so much for the super chat. Cindy says, Maurice could have been as drunk as Karen Uger. He still don't hold Mel. He still doesn't owe Melody an explanation. He had every right to defend himself. Here's the thing. I don't know if look, at the end of the day, the only person that Maurice has to respond to is the law. However, I can understand if you've experienced, for those that didn't see when we did our live reacting to Karen Uger's body cam footage of her arrest, there were a lot of people still affected, traumatized by drunk drivers. So I'm not going to fault Melody for asking questions of him. And again, if we're watching a reality show and no one said anything and everyone brushed over, because you see the rest of the cast is just brushing over it and brushing over the seriousness of this. I'm not going to fault Melody for pointing out the seriousness of this. Because I think as a culture, we become very desensitized to people driving inebriated. And I'm not just talking about drinking and driving. I'm talking about driving under the influence of drugs and things like that as well. Or emotional distress. But we found out Karen Uger was not just emotionally distressed. She was lit. Her words, not mine. So I'm not going to blame Melody as someone that has been at the other side of losing a loved one to a drunk driver. So she might be personally triggered. Okay? So I'm not going to fault her for being upset and wanting to talk about it and call him out for it. And just because his charges were dismissed doesn't mean that he did not get behind the wheel of a car under the influence, allegedly. Because he didn't deny it. Just saying. Cleopatra says, exactly, he was reckless and insensitive. Elsa Dickinson says, Mel ensures that she gets her producer credit. Rework says, laughing out loud, none of these are above questions. It's a reality show. They all have done it. They can respond how they want, but the cast is going to bring up the mess. Yeah. And that goes for Melody too. You know, because I know a lot of people criticize the cast for bringing up some of the things going on in her life. They all do it. They all do it. Why? See it? TV says, exactly, Kempire. If Karen on a larger platform as the Housewives had to answer questions, then who is Maurice? And luckily for Maurice, his charges have been dismissed. So we're not going to get the full details. I don't know if we will ever see if there was body cam footage and things like that as well. I mean, based off the photo alone, look, I hate the fact that they brought up anything in regards to Maurice possibly cheating and there was lipstick marks on him in this mugshot, because clearly I don't see anything. I hate that even was a conversation. And I was like, let's keep it up on the DUI. Let's not speculate about cheating, even though, Kimmy, now you got us speculating because of your initial response. But we will get to that, okay? All right. So there's a back and forth. very clearly we see Maurice is defensive. Melody's like, you know what? I'm not going to do this. Kimmy comes down and sits down into the conversation. She's like, I'm not going to engage, but keep it cute. Keep it cute. Okay. And then Destiny, trying to get a moment in her confessional. And she's like, she's surprised that Kimmy is not saying anything because you can see that Kimmy is clearly upset. All right. But she says that, you know what, you never get resolved with Melody. So she says it's a never ending cycle. And I think we all have just given up. This is the same woman during the recent trip in the hallway. Let me turn on the snow. I know there was no snow in the Caribbean, but let me turn on the snow in the hallway. Put a little telenovela music under this. Okay. She saw Melody from a distance. Okay, she saw Melody from a distance, looked her in the eyes, and said, "I'm sorry. I love you." And then hugged her. So, I froze. Hold on, y'all. Let me switch my camera. Let me switch cameras. Ah, Lord. Let me go here. That camera? Look. Lord. So they're trying to mess me up today, y'all. They're trying to mess me up today. Hold on, let me zoom in. Okay. Or can I zoom in or not? Or not? Maybe not. Oh, goodness. All right, y'all. I froze. Destiny tried to mess me up with that. I'm still going to do it again, Destiny. Look, I'm going to still do it again. Elsie said we can still hear you. But now you should be able to see me. But okay. Lord. Hold on. Let me see if I can. I should be able to switch this. Why can't I switch this? Anyways, back to this. Okay. Back to what I was saying. I'm surprised that happened. When it happened? Let me see if I plug this camera out. Hold on, y'all. Let me just fix this because I'd much rather use this camera as opposed to this other camera because I want to make sure that y'all able to see and hear me. Hold on. Let me try that. Maybe that will fix it. Maybe if I turn it off and then turn it back on. Let's try that again. All right. It's a live show, but I'm glad you guys can hear me. Let me see if I can try this again. Hold on. Let me see. Did it work? No, it's still frozen, right? I don't know. It's all right. All right. Live show. Anyways, back to this, guys. You two say you're okay. All right. Right? April says Kempire is out here doing the Lord's work. I'm trying. Claire says it was the snow that made you freeze, right? Literally freeze. Anyways. So back to this in regards to Love and Marriage Huntsville. Guys, you're just joining us. We're talking about last night's episode. We already recapped the interview. Wait, I have to look here. I got to get used to looking here. Mama Allie, thank you, Mama Allie. Oh, Mama Allie got a new photo. Mama Allie says, you're handsome from every angle. Thank you. But I need to move my light. I got to get the proper light over here. Anyways, I'm glad the rest of the office was clean. Lord have mercy. Now I got to move the tree. Oh, wait, maybe if I move this. Hold on. Look, live show. Oh, there we go. Wait, that way. All right, that's better. Now, cause I want y'all to see my decor too, right? Come on. All right, there we go. Anyways, live show. This is what I'm looking in the wrong directions. I'm so used to looking this way. All right, let me just say thank you. We did have a super chat. If you guys just joined us, don't forget to like the video. It's easy and it's free. V, thank you so much for the super chat. V says, Working in the military justice legal field, I've dealt with a few cases that ended in vehicular homicide. Not okay. It ruins everyone that is involved lives. Yeah, we were just talking about this with the whole Karen stuff that, people are still, just because you don't necessarily die from the situation doesn't mean that you're not affected by it and that you don't continue to be affected by it. All right. All right, moving on. So they had that back and forth, Maurice and Melody, all right? And then, of course, Destiny wants to have her moment and says that it's a never-ending cycle with Melody, all right? So people are just tired of doing it, all right? All right. So Marquez then decides to go sit down with the cast. Marquez was definitely working overtime in order to be, I guess, to get camera time. I don't know. I don't know what his intention was. Maybe to try and get some sort of like friends on the cast. All right. But I don't think it was working. So he goes to sit with the cast. He introduces himself as the father and the husband. Marquez says that, they know that Trish is difficult to deal with. So like he's wanting advice from them on how to co-parent with her. Really? I don't think so, sir. Look, I don't think so. Anyways, then Marquez's son, I felt for his son. And this is why I say I can't defend anyone, because I feel like everyone is playing a part in this whole situation. No one is innocent. His son, Xavier, comes over and pulls his father to the side. He's like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, wait, let me rewind back, because I forgot to mention this in regards to Maurice and Melody's conversation. In his confessional, he then tries to, he didn't do it this directly to Melody, but he does say in his confessional, because he makes it seem like Melody's this unhappy person and that she's still looking for love. I mean, I think I would much rather be single than be with a man that when his wife was going through cancer treatments made a big deal about her not having sex with him. Honestly, I'd much rather be single. How about you? So I thought that was so... Here's the thing. I don't think that Melody should have been talking about or speculating that he may have been cheating or she saw lipstick in the mugshot. However, I don't blame her for bringing up the whole DUI, because no one else is. Everyone's sort of like breezing over the seriousness of it. But then you're going to try and gaslight that she's an unhappy person and that she's still looking for love. I much rather be single than have a man like you, if I'm going through a sickness, pressuring me to have sex with you. This is where you lost me a couple seasons ago, Maurice. I was like, what? No. I'd rather be single. I'd much rather be single. All right. Anyways, back to Marquez. So Marquez's son pulls him to the side. He's like, what are you doing? When your son has more sense than you do, I mean, look, I'm just like, I can't. Between Marquez and Trish, I'm like, who in this relationship had sense? The kids have the sense. The kids had the sense. I just thought that was sad, because now they've turned this reality TV situation, the celebration that was meant for the kids. I don't know if this was really meant for the kids or this was just Trish trying to have her TV moment, meaning like her party or something. But the kids are really there, and the kids are seeing this. Like the kids, once the cameras are down, have to deal with two parents that are not getting along. Okay? So then we have a side conversation between Marquez and Ken. All right? Ken says that Marquez is the one with the issue and that he doesn't have an issue with Marquez. I don't know if I believe that anymore. I do believe on some level you do have an issue. And I do believe that you think that maybe Trish might have feelings for Marquez still. And I didn't really think that before, but then when we think about how long she's sort of dragged out this divorce, and it felt like the show and the people from the show and the audience from the show kind of pressured her to actually move forward with this divorce. You guys have been together for 2 years, but she's been separated from this man, I don't know how many years. I thought your response was interesting. Trish then decides to come over there. Oh, wait, before we get to that. Ken then says that nothing in this world would keep him from his kids. Okay? Another dig at Marquez. But look, Marquez, you gave him the fodder. You gave him, by being a neglectful father. I know you keep denying it, but I believe that you were not there, because you kind of admitted that to Marceau when you had a conversation. Did you guys miss Marceau in this episode? He wasn't in it. Did you miss him? No? Okay. Okay. But maybe if Marceau was at this party, he unfortunately probably would have been the voice of reason, because he was the voice of reason when speaking to Marquez a few episodes ago, or last season, their last season. Okay. What else happens here? Then Marquez brings up the fact that Ken can't have kids. And look, I know some of you are going to defend Marquez here, but if the tables were reversed and we were looking at two women and the baby's mother said to Ken the same thing, we would feel very differently. Did you pay attention, though, to Ken's eyes? Ken looked like he wanted to rip Marquez apart. Because we don't know. There might be something biological with Ken, why he doesn't have biological children. We don't know. We don't know. So, again, here I go twerking on a fence. We don't know if there is something biological or physical that makes him not be able to have his own children. We don't know. I don't know. But I didn't like that, and I could tell that Ken wanted to rip his head off. Go back, watch the scene. I know you're probably like, I don't want to go back and watch the scene. Well, look at his eyes. His eyes kind of opened up. I was like, ooh. But that was low. That was definitely low. Okay? And this is why I said Marquez is not innocent. All right? So Marquez says that. All right? But then in Ken's confessionals, this is where it kind of made me flip on Ken, because I was just like, you like being the hero in these women's stories because he was with someone else, and that's how he has that other daughter that's not his biologically. And it felt like he was bigging himself up so much in the confessionals that I was just like, you kind of get off on being like Captain Save-A-Ho. It was weird to me. All right. And he admits that he was definitely taking a shot at Marquez in his speech. And again, why would you take that shot at Marquez or that dig at Marquez in front of his children? Why would you do that? And I get it. Marquez has not been a good father, but why would you perpetuate that in front of his kids? And again, there's a lot of the story that we don't know. And I'm sure the kids probably open up to Ken in a way, but you're not helping. Ken, you're not helping at all. Guys, you're just joining us. We're talking about the latest episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville. As always, don't forget to like the video. It's easy and it's free. We have quite a few of you already here in the building. We have 1111 people in the building. Hey, 1111 people, like the video. We only have less than 300 likes. Really? Okay. Anyway, so then Trish decides to insert herself in the conversation, which is fine. But she definitely seemed inebriated. Okay? And then they start talking about, he wasn't there when her parents died, and he tried to make it seem that, I was definitely there. I don't believe Marquez, to be honest with you. Trish, but she went and got a drink, and she comes over. She definitely was lit. She was definitely lit. But then she goes, she has these like rants with him that she doesn't come across clear. And then when she's drinking, probably doesn't help either. So I'm sort of like, whose side am I on in this conversation right now? Because Trish is not coming across clear. Trish decides that she wants to bring up, and I got the divorce papers notarized. After, in her conversation with Melly's like, yeah, this is about your children. Okay? This is about the children. Don't bring it up at this event. Yet, she got a few drinks in her and she decides to bring it up. That she got the papers notarized. All right. Melody at the table, so everyone is reacting to this interaction that we're watching, and she says that she thinks that Trish is still in love with Marquez. Do you guys believe that Trish is still in love with Marquez? I don't know if I think that she's in love with Marquez. I think she will always have love for Marquez. It's the father of her children, probably her first love. I don't think that she's in love with him, but I think there is something to why she delayed the divorce. All right? Maybe. All right. Again, Carlos. Well, how did we go from this scene to all of a sudden we're in a completely new scene after the commercial? It just felt like there was no end to that scene. And they do that a lot with Love and Marriage Huntsville. So when we talk about Carlos's production value, this is how it just doesn't compare to Real Housewives or Bravo or anything like that. And I know he loves to take credit for why Real Housewives of Atlanta was so amazing. Apparently you weren't in charge of the transitions, because it's like, how do you have years of doing it one way and then you come and do it on your own? It doesn't have the same quality value. Just asking a question as someone that's watching it. Okay. So Tisha, Trish, and Kimmy, meet up. All right. Tisha's so upset that she missed this party. She's like, oh, what went down? What went down? Trish gives an update in regards to Marquez, and she's saying, he's very sensitive. He can be very emotional. And that she says that she felt like she was going to slap Marquez and then Melody. Because he's like, you can get it, you can get it. She probably was feeling that way. She was probably feeling that way because she was drinking, okay? But I guess she didn't like some of the things that Melody was saying during the thing. But I don't feel like Melody was talking out of pocket, just based on what we saw, okay? But maybe there was more that happened because we didn't see any sort of energy that Trish was giving to Melody at the party. Again, it could have been stuff that they left out from the edit. Oh, damn. Winter says, I saw a clip. Winter says, OMG, you got to see the Bell Collective reunion set. Horrible. Shaking my head. Damn. I'm not surprised, but you would think after years of doing these shows on OWN, I'm not even talking about Atlanta anymore, of doing these shows, that there would be a level of quality. But okay. It's giving cable access. Shout out to cable access, but we understand why cable access looks the way that it does. Okay. Anyways, so Trish says that she felt like slapping Marquez, and then she was ready to go give that same energy to Melody. Okay, you are a confessional gangster, and you are when you're not in front of people's face gangster, Trish. Anyways, Trish says that Melody was grilling her about the whole. Well, first of all, she talked about her situation with Melody, and when she went out with Melody, she talks about how Melody was grilling her about the Maurice situation. Trish says that she also mentioned the whole Martell situation, how she was grilling her with that. Okay, she says that because Trish was there the night that Maurice and all of them were hanging out. She says that she didn't feel like anyone was too drunk to drive. Okay, all right. Tisha says that Melody did the same thing when she met up with her and insinuated that Maurice had red lipstick in his mugshot. I will show you the mugshot again. Look, where's my mugshot? I just had it. Oh, here it is. Okay. I will show you the mugshot again. So both Trish and Tisha said that Melody insinuated that maybe something happened in regards to Maurice and his DUI, that maybe he was with someone else. All right? Because of the alleged lipstick. I don't see lipstick. We already looked at other pictures of Maurice, and Maurice has pink red lips. Okay? However, don't forget, at the top of the season, when they were talking about the timeline, Kimmy also was like, I woke up out of my bed and I went to the office and you weren't there. So where were you, Maurice? And Kimmy, why are we switching up now? Because in this conversation, Kimmy says that she doesn't like the fact that Melody's bringing it up. She wants to know why Melody's bringing something like this and why she didn't bring it to her, because they had their own conversation. And she says the funny thing about the situation is that Maurice was with me and you, in regards to Trish. And she's like, that's the humor. No, the humor is, though, Kimmy, when you spoke to Maurice at the top of the season, you were like, I woke up out of my bed and I said, let me go check to see where you are, and you weren't at the office. So where was Maurice? Was he with his brother and this woman, Chantel? Or maybe someone new? I don't know. Look, I don't know. But you gave us that clue, like, wait, so you guys are all partying at Black, and then Maurice didn't come home? Maurice went to Credit One? I'm asking. Miss Wynn says, hold on. Miss Wynn says, Kimmy has given 3 different stories. And Kimmy's usually better with that. Kimmy usually is the one that's able to piece things together logically for me. But in the last couple of seasons, I'm just like, Kimmy, like, come on. So now Kimmy has a bone to pick with Melody, because now Melody is having a conversation with Trish and with Tisha about lipstick in the mugshot. I wish Melody would have kept it just at the DUI and not brought up any sort of lipstick. I didn't see those rumors. She was the first person I ever heard bring that up, that there was lipstick. I never saw that, but some of you may have. I personally did not see any rumors as to him being with another woman. It would have made a little bit more sense if there were rumors about that and Kimmy had said what she said on the show. Then I've been like, oh, okay. Ooh, You Too Cute says Kimmy didn't bring up the revenge corn plot to Melody. If Tisha knew, Kimmy knew. Well, we don't know that for sure, but who knows? Who knows? Who knows? What I did also get from that side chick convention was that apparently Martell and Coleslaw used to hang out with the Scotts, not Kimmy and Maurice, but Marceau and Tisha. And then all of a sudden they stopped hanging out. This is out the mouth of Coleslaw. Okay? K Unique says, I saw it online. I personally haven't seen it. Leo says it was all over the blogs. Please send me a link. Look, please send me a link, because I personally, as someone who really doesn't care about these folks, but still sees stuff, I did not see that in regards to lipstick. And please, it can't be some random blog that's sort of like a credible blog. Okay? So I personally did not see that. But again, just because you may have seen something on the blog, based off the picture alone, guys, I don't see lipstick. I don't see lipstick on his shirt. Oh, wait, do I? Is that a reflection? Hold on. Is that a reflection, or is that lipstick on his collar? Oh, Lord. Y'all, wait a minute. Come on. Hold on. Take a closer look. It's hard to tell, because remember, I took this as a picture from my phone from the TV. Is that a smudge on his collar? Look. Not y'all got me looking a little bit closer. I'm like, wait a minute. Is that what she's talking about? Look, Ray on TikTok, a.k.a. go to our YouTube channel. Take a closer look. Look, Miss Wynn says, I see something on the... Oh, shut up. Why are we doing this? Right on the right side, but maybe his left side, because we're looking at the screen. Lakia says, as soon as I said it, Lakia said a credible blog a more credible blog, not some random blog that has like 2 followers. That's what I mean by credible. Okay. And there are a lot of credible blogs out there that actually do get a legitimate tea. Okay. All the way north says, Mel never mentioned lipstick to Kimmy. She didn't, which is why I'm like, if she had mentioned it to Kimmy, then I probably could respect it a little bit more. But again, I don't think I would have brought that up. The issue at hand is far more serious than us bringing up some random cheating mess that's involved. You get what I'm saying? Even if that rumor was out there, even if I could see lipstick on his collar, I don't know, y'all. I can't tell if that's a smudge or is that something else. Anyways, I feel April says, now y'all reaching, I believe. What do you mean? Wait, you believe what? You believe what? But here's the thing. The issue at hand is far more serious that we don't need to talk about the cheating stuff. You know, we can let Martell expose any sort of cheating like he did in this interview. This side chick alleged that she hooked up with Marceau and Maurice. Danny says, we see dried up pink lipstick on the collar. You know what, Danny? Really? All right. I just wish she didn't bring it up. I didn't see the need in her bringing it up. And I also didn't understand why she wouldn't stand 10 toes down on it when she spoke with Kimmy. And just said, well, that's what I saw a lot of the blogs saying, that there was lipstick on the collar. If you're saying to me that's not what was there, I believe you. I just wish she would have just said that. Again, I wish she wouldn't even brought it up. Because again, the issue at hand is far more serious than him cheating. Okay? I mean, it's probably serious to Kimmy if it's true. Just saying. Ooh, Kay Saunders says that Kimmy is pretending to be happy. It's exhausting. She will learn. Oof. Oof. All right. Guys, if you haven't already, be sure to like the video. It's easy and it's free. If you haven't, we're almost at 400 likes, but we have 1,300 people here. I will not be dropping the call-in link for this live chat without at least 500 likes. You're here. Liking the video is simple. How I see it, thank you for the super chat. How I see it says, Kempire, Alabama is ranked number 10 of the states with the highest rates of DUI deaths in the U.S. Wow. in the USA. Maurice's actions the next day was gross. You see that? Alabama is ranked number 10 of the states with the highest rates of DUI deaths in the USA. Then you would think that their DUI laws would be a lot more strict. You know what I mean? Keitha, thank you so much for the super chat. Keitha says, Ken did the right thing. Let's hold absentee fathers accountable and not treat them with kid gloves. The kids already know their father is absent. I don't think he needed to. Let Trish hold the father responsible. You don't get involved because you're not going to help the situation. Missy, thank you so much for the super chat. Missy says it came from on several YouTubers, one of which is named in that lawsuit with Maurice and Own. See, but that's the thing. We don't know people's intentions by bringing up that rumor. Again, the issue at hand of someone driving under the influence is far more serious than him cheating. And I hate the fact that now we're alluding, unless it was like really apparent, we got to zoom in and it's hard to even tell. And matter of fact, because we are investigators here, let me bring up the actual mugshot. Hold on, because I know I had it before. Let me just bring it up because I don't want to just base it off of a picture from a phone. So let me just bring up the actual mugshot. You can't even tell from the mugshot either, to be honest with you. The mugshot qualities are not the best. But I'll bring it up and be fair. Look, and be fair. For once. Look, for once. Let me just do this. Because even this is pretty grainy. Based off of this, I don't see any sort of lipstick. Not that it's important, because like I said, the most important issue here is the fact that this man drove under the influence allegedly. The charges have since been dismissed, okay, for lack of evidence. Ooh, Shar says number 1 is Montana for DUI fatalities. What y'all doing over there in the Midwest? Lord. Hold on one second, y'all. Let me just bring up the photo so y'all can see what I'm looking at. So even when you look at this, it's hard to tell because the quality is not great. All right? But like I said, the bigger issue here at hand is the fact that he allegedly drove under the influence and was arrested for that. All right. Moving on. Guys, if you haven't already, again, don't forget you can hear an audio version of our live recaps and special episodes, including last night's recap of the Side Chick Convention on the Kempire podcast. While you're there, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review. Give us a 5-star rating. We're trying to get to 1,000 ratings before the end of the year, which is a week away. Okay, so if you haven't rated our podcast already, be sure to head on over to Apple Podcasts and on Spotify and subscribe. Okay? All right. Okay. So they have that conversation. Kimmy is going to have a conversation with Melody. Nell and Chris, at first watching the scene, seeing them fencing, I was like, oh, here we go with another filler scene. But then I thought to myself, I was like, you know what? This couple, they've been together such a long time. They still do a lot of fun things together. I was like, you know what? We need a little bit of, like, this was like a cleanse for the episode, okay? And it was like, it does get a little bit more serious as they have their conversation. But we see Nell and Chris fencing with each other. Like, it's good to see a couple that's been together this long still enjoying their time together, okay? Anyways, so they sit down to have a conversation because they're supposed to be planning their 30th anniversary party, but Lance told Chris that Nell was thinking about not having it or scaling it back. And Nell says, well, some of the reason is because, remember, her original storyline is that she's been giving the kids money. And he's like, I'm going to help you too. And she's like, but still, as a woman, there are certain things that we want to do if we're going to do this type of party. Then he brings up the passing of her mother. And then she's like, yeah, I don't know if I want to do this without her. They used to talk all the time. So she's still grieving. And then she gets really upset because she's just like, I don't want to talk about this. I just want to be happy. And I know a lot of people that have lost loved ones or lost their parents feel the way that Nell does. All right. So I felt for Nell in this moment. I didn't expect that that's what they were going to talk about in this scene. But I appreciate it. I appreciate the dynamic of we see this couple that love each other, spending time. They're always doing something fun together and then talking about something that she's going through that we had no idea that she was going through. Okay. Then we have this other former couple, Marquez and Trish, meet up. Apparently the kids were supposed to come. Her daughter was sick. However, Xavier just did not want to be a part of it. And this is where I was like, well, that's quite telling. Xavier's probably just through with his father and his father's antics. Again, I don't think Ken is innocent, but I definitely don't think that Marquez is innocent. And I'm tired of, Trish and Marquez having the same argument about him being absentee father and then him gaslighting her saying that you need counseling. Okay, we can have our feelings about Trish and her not being the greatest at reality television, and maybe she still has feelings for Marquez, but he clearly was gaslighting her in this conversation. Okay? Telling her that she needs counseling. No, sir, you need counseling. And I believe Trish when she says that you were an absentee father. He tries to make it seem as if he was a great father. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. And then he tries to say that maybe she could have been a better wife if she had a proper example. What? Like, what? What are you saying right now? He then reveals to her that he is, speaking with Chris about getting a place in Huntsville. First of all, if you are having money issues, again, Trish says in the scene that she's like, I like that he's coming to Huntsville to be with the kids. However, she doesn't think he can afford it. How are you going to afford a place in Atlanta and a place in Huntsville and you can't afford to transportation to come to Huntsville, according to Trish? But again, I think Marquez is playing it up for the fans. I don't think he's innocent. I think he was a deadbeat dad. I do think that he was a terrible husband and he has some issues, emotional issues. Just saying. And now Trish has to figure out a way to co-parent with him. All right, let's get to the final scene. But before we get to the final scene, I am going to drop the call-in link on our community tab for our members first. So if you're a member of the channel, we're going to drop it there. Live chat, we will drop it for you guys. We have 1,300 here. Let's get to 500 likes. We're not even quite there yet. All right. Again, liking the video is easy and it's free. And it's great for those content creators that watch me and are watching and not liking. It will help your channel as well. So like the video so that people can discover your channel. Just saying. Anyway, so members, we're going to drop the call-in link for you as well. Okay. All right. Hey, TikTok. TikTok says something's not right about Ken. I agree. Black Rose says, Carlos sure knows how to find the most toxic black men in every city. Is that because he might be toxic? Allegedly. Look, allegedly. Okay. What do you guys... Oh, wait, let me say thank you. We had a couple of super chats. Missy, thank you so much for the super chat. Missy says, it came from... Oh, wait, I read this already. Cut and paste, Tisha. Tisha, is this Tisha? As if there are millions of Tishas in the world. Kimmy is miserable, according to Tisha. That's why she has the emotional support dog. She has an emotional support dog? Are you calling someone else a dog? Wait, confused. Okay. Anyways, and then, look, Ms. R says Carlos attracts what he is. Look. All right, y'all. Let me move on to this Kimmy and Melody conversation. So Kimmy decides to sit down with Melody to have a conversation because Kimmy has heard that Melody has brought up not just the DUI conversation, which is fine, but the fact that maybe Maurice had lipstick in his mugshot on his lips, on his collar. We don't know. All right. So she decides to confront Melody about it. Okay. And I did notice something in my rewatch of the episode that Kimmy mixed up what Trish said, because she said that Trish accused Melody of drilling her about the Maurice stuff, but no, Trish was being drilled by Melody about the Martell stuff. She wasn't really drilling about the whole, but maybe it's something that we didn't see. Again, because this is a larger conversation, it's an edited show. She could have been asking more questions, because remember, Trish was also at Black when they were all drinking the night of Maurice, well, the next day, Maurice's DUI. Camille says that I feel people put down black folk more than white. Example, Carlos and Andy. Both are messy, not one more than the other. Camille, I know you're not new to the channel, right? Because I drag both I probably drag Andy more than I drag Carlos. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. I definitely drag Andy probably way more than Carlos. I mean, it's hard to decide, but they both get dragged over here. But I'm not saying what you're saying. I'm not denying. I'm sure a lot of people probably do, because we do see that in many other examples. But over here, they're dragged equally. Bunny says Andy doesn't act like he's above it, though. Well, you do have a point. You do have a point. Andy is not talking about how he creates safe spaces for his reality TV stars. I don't know if those words ever came out of his lips. They could have. I'm not saying either one is innocent, okay? And honestly, Andy probably has done a lot worse to reality television stars than Carlos. But that's only because Andy's power is probably far more reaching. Just saying. Okay? And thank you so much, D, for the super chat. D says, happy holidays, Kempire. Thank you for reviewing Love and Marriage Huntsville, even though you don't want to. I really don't. Especially on a Sunday. Like, if I didn't have Love and Marriage Huntsville to recap, I would be chilling on a Sunday. Relaxing. Not here. Thank you so much for the suggestion. She says, even though you don't want to, I enjoy your witty balance reviews. Thank you. But I will admit this, because I'm not going to sit here and act like Maurice, like I'm above it all. I'm not going to say, I will admit the last few episodes have kept me entertained. I think also our conversation about it, like our community conversation about it, has kept me interested in even talking about it. You know what I mean? Shar says Kempire is an equal dragationer. There we go. At least I try to be. Look, but now that she said that about Andy, I have to make sure when we talk about whatever with Andy related, we have to drag him equally. I just dragged Andy the other day. So, anyways, hence why I'm blocked. Okay, which is fine. At least Carlos didn't block me that I know of. Okay. All right. Moving on. So Kimmy and Melody had this conversation. Kimmy says, I've been hearing from other people that you're talking about this lipstick. And Melody says that it's been all over the internet. You guys said that some of you have said that you've seen it. Again, I never saw that because, if I saw it, I would have mentioned it before this. Just saying. I never saw it personally. Again, I'm not saying that it wasn't out there. Kimmy says that when she had her conversation with Melody never brought up the lipstick. All right. And she feels that Melody bringing up this lipstick was definitely not friendly and was out of pocket. And look, I'm not going to deny, I do think that it was out of pocket. And I do think that it was messy. I definitely think that. But some might say, well, this group has done the same thing to Melody. But you do notice at the end of their conversation, Kimmy does not want to be lumped in to what other people have done within this group. Did you guys notice that? And I didn't realize it until I rewatched it, that she basically was saying that she doesn't want to be treated or be at the wrath of Melody because of what other people have said and done in this group. Okay? So Melody, when confronted with this information, Kimmy wants to hear what Melody has to say. And Melody basically is like, you heard from the other people about so I guess she's confirming, yep, that's what I said. But she refuses to have the conversation with Kimmy. And that's where Melody lost me in this conversation, because you said it, just say it again. And say, like, well, this is what I've heard, even though she did say that, this is the entire internet. I just wish she would have been more open to having the conversation, especially because it was one-on-one. And if you're wrong, or if you want to apologize, do that. But the standoffishness was sort of like, but Melody, you brought it up. And honestly, I wish you didn't bring it up, because the issue at hand, now we're talking about him possibly having lipstick on his collar and not the seriousness of him driving under the influence. I don't love that we switch gears and we're not talking about this, especially when people telling me in the chat that Alabama is one of the top places where we have DUI fatalities. So I just wish that we didn't go there. However, after watching the side chick convention, I have to say I had a different feeling about Kimmy's response. Because Kimmy's response, she says to Melody, do you know something? And Melody's just kind of giving that sinister Scorpio, like smiling, but also Southern nasty nights grin. Look, I was just like, oh, Melody. Giving her that like sinister, like glare. You can't really see her eyes. All you see is the lashes and a little bit of a smirk. But Kimmy's response kind of said to me, because remember, Kimmy said at the top of the season that she went to Credit One or one of his offices and he wasn't there. She went looking for him, even though she was with him. So did he go somewhere afterwards? Did he have to pick something up at the office? Okay. But Kimmy's response was interesting because she asked Melody, do you know something? And Melody's refusing to even engage in the conversation. She's like, you heard what I told them. There's no point. And Melody says that the reason why she didn't engage further with the rumors with Kimmy, allegedly, is because when they had the conversation, she could tell that Kimmy did not want to have the conversation. And she's like, I understand why, because it's a court case and blah, 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 blah. I don't know if I believe that. Okay. But okay, we can run with that. But then when Kimmy says that she feels like Melody did this intentionally, and then she starts asking her, like, do you know something that I don't know? But Melody, in her confessional, says the fact that Kimmy isn't denying the fact that he did not have lipstick on his chest and she's asking for more questions actually says a lot more. And then I'm like thinking, well, at the top of the season, Kimmy did say that she went to the office and he wasn't there. And then the timeline is a little obscure. And then we had the side chick convention. And I'm like, wait. And then Kimmy's asking, do you know something? Part of me is thinking to myself, well, yeah, if you for sure knew that nothing happened and in the mugshot that we all just looked at, in the mugshot, he doesn't have lipstick on his mouth. He has pink lips. Something's just weird. Now you see why I have no one's side in this episode. Tina said I had to fast forward this whole scene. The Kimmy one, that was the last scene. So you fast forwarded to the end? Ooh, Special K says Kimmy hates her. It's so obvious. Do you guys think that? Yes, we talked about this last night. Pretty Pink Survivor says it was rumored a while ago that Credit One was the hookup spot. Ew. I'm like, ew. I wouldn't want to go there. Billy, thank you so much for the super chat. Billy says, Mel had baby girl knowing that man had a long-term entanglement. I wish she would stay out of it and just laugh when they are naturally exposed. Again, if that is the truth, I wish she would have just focused on the issue at hand because the DUI alone is very serious. I just wish they would have did that. Just focus on that. But this conversation of her not wanting to answer something that we clearly saw Melody say on camera was weird. It was giving weird energy. I wish she would have just said, well, that's what I said. That's what I heard. Instead of this whole like, well, you heard what I said and da-da-da. I was like, no, just say it. Like, yeah, I said it. I said it on camera. But if you're saying that it's not true, it's not true. Okay. D says, yes, Kempire. We think that Mel hates Kimmy. We think Kimmy has always hated Mel. Really? Not always hated. Maybe after the show. I don't know if they remember these people knew each other before the show. I don't think they always hated. But I do think that Kimmy might think that Melody knows more. And that's why the conversation went the way that it did. But I also noticed that Kimmy doesn't want the wrath of Melody, and she doesn't want to be lumped in to what other people have done in the group. She literally says that in the conversation. I don't feel like this conversation went left where these two are no longer at least cordial in the group. But I definitely don't think these folks are friends anymore. Rework says, watch season 1. I am not rewatching the show I don't like watching in general. I remember season 1 vaguely. Season 1 was probably like 1,000 episodes broken up into like season 1, 2, 3, and 4. Leo says that Melody just reciprocated the same energy Kimmy gives. What, passive aggressive? Oh, look, I'm inserting words. All right. If you're a member of the channel, I've dropped the call-in link on the community tab. We've reached our goal of 500 likes. However, we still have over 1,400 people here. Anyone else find that weird? And don't tell me because you're watching from your television. You can like from your television. Why do we have 1,400 people here and only 537 likes? And I'm asking you to like the video. I shouldn't have to ask you to like the video. You've been here this long. You should like the video, right? Or is that silly of me? Silly of me to think that I could expect you to like my video. Damn, I thought you loved me. Anyways, JH says that Kimmy's not passive aggressive. Okay. I'm just piecing together what they're saying. Nelly, thank you so much for the super chat. Nelly says, hold on. Mel's malicious gossip about Kimmy's husband and was unsolicited advice regarding the implication was wrong. Mel's smile looked vindictive and cowardly. It definitely was giving that. It definitely was giving like, you definitely said it. We saw you say it to other people. And then when confronted with it and honestly, I felt like Melody had to know that it was going to get back to Kimmy. We have to keep in mind, I know we're watching a reality television show, but we have to keep in mind, Melody knew saying this stuff to people that aren't her best friends, that it was going to get back to Kim. So she wasn't blindsided by this conversation. And she knew the fact that Kimmy was inviting her somewhere, that Kimmy was probably going to talk about this. Because I want us to think this through. So it's not like Melody was blindsided. Melody knew this was coming. So I'm wondering why exactly she didn't want to answer. But okay, maybe they will talk about this during the reunion. But I know you guys told me that Kimmy said that there's a lot of stuff that's not addressed at the reunion because they did not see the episodes before the reunion. They did not see the episodes before the reunion. Okay. B says that Melody was producing. I mean, look, we talk about reality TV stars self-producing, but we have to remember she is a producer on the show. Yeah, shout out to the Replay crew. Replay crew, be sure to let us know your thoughts and opinions on the latest episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville. We're going to get into some callers. Again, the callers, we remind you, no profanity, no derogatory comments. You respect the timer, okay? Did I drop the call link for the live chat? I don't think I did. Let me do it again, just in case I forgot. Okay. All right. Again, if you're a member of the channel, I've dropped the call link on the community tab. And don't forget, you can hear an audio version of our live recaps on the Kempire podcast. While you're there, don't forget to give the Kempire podcast a 5-star review. And don't forget, the Kempire After Dark live experience is returning to Washington, D.C. on Friday, January 24th of next year. And then we're coming back to New York City on Friday, February 21st. There is a live stream ticket link for the New York City show. So if you want that, go get your tickets for that. Okay. But if you're in the tri-state area, definitely come to the show. I look forward to meeting all of you in Washington, D.C. and in New York City. All right. Ooh, hold on. Toot Latrice says, if she's deemed a villain, then own it. But we all saw what happened. They are all complicit. Thanks for tuning in to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio podcast. As always, don't forget to give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. And for everything Kempire Radio, head on over to KempireRadio.com.